Hello, Pete and Susan. How are you? We are very happy to be here tonight to give you some of our fond memories and what you've meant to us over the years. I remember when I first met Kim, I really didn't want to come to church anymore. I felt I had graduated after 4 years of Catholic high school, but she was insistent, and when I finally did come, I was really blown away with how welcoming the atmosphere was at Valencia United Methodist, and obviously Pastor Pete had a lot to do with how I was able to maybe reinvigorate my faith and to start another chapter in my life. And how could we not mention when you performed the wedding ceremony for us?
Sherry let us borrow the picture that she has.
How about that, huh? But a wonderful ceremony, and you were just very gracious. I remember all the thoughts and kind words that you provided to us during that time in our lives. I remember then when you were our sponsors, Pete and Susan. You sponsored us to go on the walk to Emmaus, and that spiritual retreat really had a lot to do with us maybe re-examining where we were at and helped us grow to a much higher level. And I remember very fondly, specifically, the instigation of the contemporary worship. It was back, I think, maybe 2000, somewhere around there, when we moved into the new sanctuary that, Pete, you said you really wanted to make this a more concerted effort and maybe do the contemporary worship on Sunday. And you asked me if I would play guitar and help lead in that fashion, and to think that it's been now 16 years later, and
Wow.
we're still going strong almost every Sunday, still up there playing. But I think, again, it was a lot of foresight that you had, knowing that this was a direction that the church needed to move in. And so the legacy that you have left for all of us that have known you and have been touched by you is truly amazing. You two are two of the most wonderful, loving, kind, caring people that we've ever known. So we wish you all the best. We're just happy that we've had this opportunity to record these thoughts for you here.
And I've known you guys a long time, and of course you're wonderful people because you lived in my house, so you have to be wonderful people, right? So you guys have just been so special to us, and even though you're in Virginia, we still think about you guys all the time, and thank you for your cards and your, especially, the card you guys just sent with Grandpa and everything, and I'm glad you guys still get to see my parents, every now and then, but I think I was in high school when you guys came, and so Pete, you were there for when I graduated high school and when I graduated college, and then of course when you performed our wedding ceremony. And then one of my favorite stories, Pete, is when you married Tori and Mike, and I just love that whole Methodist, going back a step, that whole Methodist connection, and how you guys were friends with Mike and Nancy Easterly, and the whole Arizona connection and everything, and just how with the Methodist camps. And I think I was a camp counselor for Kim Easterly. Tori and Kim went to Camp Colby together, and here, 20 years later, or however many years later, they end up being sister-in-laws. But that's one of the things I love about the Methodist Church. But
The funny story on the video.
Thank you. Was, and I don't know who you set this up with, but it was absolutely golden. It's like my favorite story of you. It just shows, what a secret joker that you are, of going in on Tori's wedding video when they cut to you going into the gift closet and browsing around to see what might be optional to take. I always just love that you guys loved us enough to be able to feel comfortable to do that, because I'm sure you didn't do that on many wedding videos. But then of course you baptized Jared, and we love looking at that video too, because how by the end, Jared screaming and crying, and how we all just ended up laughing, at the you hired me, you were my boss, and Pete, you were always such a great boss. You just said, I trust you, just do your thing, and, I'm good with whatever you do. So I always appreciated that. And I know my dad always has some good golf stories. I don't know if you have any good golf stories.
I've just always enjoyed playing with you, Pete. You've been an amazing golfer and somebody I've definitely looked up to out on the golf course there. And hopefully someday I can maybe get my index down as low as yours. But
that's impossible. I've never met anybody lower handicap than Pete. Or he doesn't have one, right?
Yeah, but I think maybe just in closing, I know that I maybe say this a bit, but when we did I think the special ceremony when you came back, or you got the official title of Pastor Emeritus. But it is true, and it was so well deserved that, again, the number of lives that you have touched, and the amount of people that came through the Valencia United Methodist Church and still remember you. My brother, of course, said to say hello, and his family, and all the friends and people that have known and loved you over the years. You really have touched so many, and so please remember that, and know that you've touched us deeply, and we thank you.
And we love you both.
Love you.
Hope to see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Cool. Okay.
I was